So friends, today I am going to explain another best horror supernatural movie from Indonesia, which has been released in February recently. The name of this film is Waktu Magrib. I hope you will like this female-based movie. So let's go straight to the video without any delay. So the movie starts by showing three children. Their names are Vati, Rajat, and Karta, who were playing in the fields, and it was evening. Now Vati tells them to go home, because in the evening, the villagers had forbidden to leave the house, because evil roams everywhere at that time. But they don't listen to Vati and keep playing there. Now while playing, Karta's stick goes into a pit in the woods, which we also call a lair. And when he goes to pick up the stick, a hand grabs him from inside the pit, which scares him a lot, and he starts trying to get his hand out. At the same time, an evil voice calls Vati to him, and she goes to the woods where something pulls her and takes her somewhere. And when she screams for help, Rajat also starts looking for her to save her. Now Karta pulls out his hand and takes it out, and a finger of his hand was cut, which scares him a lot, and he starts crying in pain. With this, the scene shifts here. Now the story goes on for 30 years, and we have two children whose names are Saman and Adi. They were late for school, and they were running towards the school. They also find Karta on the way, who has now gone crazy. And he lives alone in the jungle and keeps wandering. Now they both reach school, where their teacher, Miss Varun, gets very angry that they come late like every day, and now they will get punishment after class. After finishing both the classes, they are completing their punishment. And a girl named Ayo also studies in their class, who had come to check her homework, and she is Miss Varun's favorite student, to whom Miss Varun also gifts her pen. Now after a while, Saman and Adi go to Mr. Marto's father's shop, where Saman had to deliver honey every day. But because of going to school late, he forgot to deliver honey. Mr. Marto tells him that if he is late, he will have to complain to his elder brother Samoin, and Saman should also take care of himself, because Samoin works so hard for him and his grandmother. Now we see Ayo, who had gone to deliver food, and in fact, Karta's niece is also there, who regularly goes to feed her. And now she comes to him. So Karta tells him to go home as soon as possible. That evening is coming, and it was forbidden to go out in the evening in the village, and Karta has faced it herself. And this is the same Karta that we saw in the beginning of the movie. Anyway, we see all the children leaving Saman in the mosque, where Ustaji is telling everyone good things, that they should not go out in the evening, because evil comes out at that time. And if they have to come to the mosque, they should come at the time of the call to prayer. This will also give them discipline. Anyway, then we see Saman, who is at home, and her grandmother is paralyzed. She couldn't speak or get up. And then her brother Samuel comes to the house, who is very angry at her for not delivering honey. He slaps her, and he says that if he still doesn't deliver, he won't leave her. And then he goes to the city to work, where he was going to be back in a few days. Now Salmon sees an evil shadow inside the house, but suddenly it disappears, which makes him think that maybe it's his illusion. Now Salmon goes to school with 2 bottles of honey the next day, so that he can deliver 2 at a time. But he came to school late today, because of which Miss Waro gets angry at him again and punishes him and Adi. Now after the punishment is over in the evening, they leave from there. And they had to go to see a play, so they start going in a van. Anyway, then we see Karthik, who is picking up woods in the jungle. That's when he feels something strange. He sees the sky that had turned red, and a strange wind was blowing. And he had experienced this 30 years ago. That is, when the initial incident took place. Saman and Adi are going to see a play here, and they start talking about Miss Waro, how bad she is. She gets angry, and while doing this, Saman says that it would be good if she died, and the van driver gets angry at her, that she shouldn't say such things. Anyway, then we see Miss Waro, who comes to her house, and she feels something strange at her house, with whom an old lady-like monster haunts her, and he kills her by possessing her. That is, Saman's wish was fulfilled here. Now everyone in the village knows that Miss Waro is no more, although everyone didn't know the truth, and they think it was an accident. Anyway, when the van driver finds out, then he comes back to the village. Saman was a little worried here, as he had said that he would die in front of them. In fact, Adi also says here that it didn't happen because he said it, on which Saman says that nothing like this can happen. It's not true to say. Now in the next scene, Miss Waro's funeral is done, and then we see that Saman is haunted by Miss Waro's ghost, by which he wants to come home in fear. Now she sees the same old lady monster at home, which haunts her, and finally possesses her. Now we see the village chiefs Dal Rahim, Marto, Security Amin, and Ayu, who had come to pick up the new teacher Ning She, Dalrahim asks that he had to come in the day. How did he get so late on the way? On which he says that by mistake she got lost and reached another village, and now she has reached here. Dalrahim introduces him to everyone, and we see Karthik, who is secretly watching them, and he was a little worried. After which, Saman does not go to school. He comes to school alone, which was late, but Miss Ningshe is very good, which doesn't get angry at all. On the other hand, we see Samuin, who goes to Marto's shop to get money for honey, where he finds out that Saman has not delivered honey, and now he goes home in anger. And while getting angry at him, he starts beating him. But Saman was still in a possessed state here, so he says he should die, and that's when she hunts the old lady monster Samuin, and Saman stabs his own brother and kills him, and now he was completely evil. Who goes out and kills all the hens in Dalrahim's house. His blood is filled in honey bottles and given to Marto, which scares him too. And he gets worried and Saman runs away from there. Anyway, in school, Ayu and Adi are shown, where Ayu repeatedly sees the spirit of Miss Waro, and their ghost was visible, which repeatedly takes Saman's name. Now Ayu goes to the house where his father was sitting with Dalrahim, and he was talking about Saman that he has killed here. And that's when Dalrahim says that he must have killed the hens too. And it's all his work. That's when they all go to Saman's house, and Adi and Ayu were left behind. In Saman's house, everyone gets his brother's dead body, which makes people very worried. And now Adi and Ayu also find Saman, who was standing on the riverside smiling strangely. They all take him to Dalrahim's house, where he was not saying anything. There was a strange humming sound going on here. That's when Miss Ningshe comes there, who says that she will try to talk to him. Maybe she'll say something, but she goes inside and comes out in a little while, and she says that she didn't say anything. Only humming sound is being made. Now Karta was also watching all this from a distance, and he was very worried. In the next scene, Saman sees the ghosts of Samoin and Miss Waro, which tells him to go away, and now he hangs himself and ends it. Now Adi and Ayu were very saddened by Saman's death, and Miss Ningshe takes care of both of them and explains. Now she explains to Adi in the class that he should move on and focus on his studies, and he should complete his homework here, on which he agrees. Now, in the evening, the school peon tells Miss Ningshe to close the school, and he also says about Adi that it is evening and send him home, on which she says that she herself will drop him home. Now she tells Adi to pray before leaving, and now Adi comes out of prayer and he sees the ghost of Saman, which haunts him, and he also becomes possessed. He stays at home in the state of possession. And now Karta puts an amulet on his house, which his father sees, and he drives him away. And such an amulet was also put on Saman's house. But why we will know later. Now Adi was sitting in the school, and after the holiday, all the children go home, but he stays there, and Ayu was also very worried about him, and he goes home. And again he sees the ghost of Miss Varo, which now takes the name of Adi. And then Ayu goes to see Adi, but he was not in the class. And now she goes to find him, but he is nowhere to be found. Then we see Adi, who is taking a child somewhere with him, and he looks for both of them all night, but they are nowhere to be found. The next day, Miss Ningshe tells all the children that they have to go straight home after class and have to pray, so that Adi and that child meet Bonan. Now after the holiday, Ayu comes to Ningshe, and she starts giving him an amulet like Karta, which Miss Ningshe does not take, and throws it down, and asks what it is, to which Ayu says that this is an amulet, and to protect them, so that evil spirits stay away from them. But Miss Ningshe says that she does not believe in all this, and neither does Ayu believe, after which she leaves there. Then we see Dalrahim and Ustaji in the evening, who had come to the mosque, and here they find Bonan's corpse outside. And on the other side, Martha finds Saman's corpse at her house, which had already been buried, but someone had brought her here, which makes her very worried. Now we see Ayu, who meets Adi on the way, who had beaten a dog badly, and now he runs after her to kill her, and she runs away from him, which Dalrahim's wife hides inside her house, but he comes in through the back door of the house and is about to attack Ayu. But by then, Amin comes and hits him on the head and makes him unconscious. In a while, Ustaji and the rest of the people come there, and now Ustaji prays and tries to cure him, and he vomits and gets well, which was very scary. And we see Karta, who is being made amulet on amulet. Now everyone starts talking about Adi. What happened to him? And Amin says that he had seen Bonan, who had said that Adi had taken him to the graveyard, from where he took Saman's body, and kept it at Martha's house, and killed that dog too. Now Adi's father says that he saw Karta wearing an amulet, and he must have done something. and everyone starts talking that he has done evil things, and he goes to his house and beats him a lot. But Dal Rahim stops him and tells him to imprison him at his house. He was going to investigate further. Anyway, there was no solid evidence against Karta here. Now we see Ayu, who was at home and was sick with trauma, who tells Martha that Uncle Karta has not done anything. But Martha herself was not able to understand anything. Now Miss Ningshe comes to meet Ayu, seeing whom she gets very scared. And Ningshe says that she went to Karta's house, where she found out that Ayu goes there regularly. And now we can see a flashback. So friends, now the real leaves of this movie open here. Now in the flashback, while talking to Karta Ayu, he tells her that the sky was red that day. The wind was blowing strangely. He felt all this 30 years ago. And he knows that Ms. Ningshe is an evil jinn, which is also called a black mother, which feeds on children. And to confirm it, she has to give an amulet to Ningshe. And if she reacts, then she is definitely a jinn. And Ayu had given her an amulet, which she had thrown means she is a jinn. Anyway, Ningshe accepts all this and starts scaring her, and says that she had haunted Karta. She remembers everything. And Ayu should stay out of this. Otherwise, her condition will be like Saman and Adi. And he has possessed both of them. And he had asked Saman to kill. Now we can see the ghost of Miss Waro. So here this ghost actually tries to save his loved ones. But he can't do anything in front of that jinn. Miss Waro was still with Ayu, and that too in the hope that he will be able to protect her. But here the jinn is so powerful that the amulet had no effect on him. Now Ayu had understood that Adi's life was in danger. And she goes to free Karta from Dal Rahim's house, who was very scared. And now she was afraid of prayers and call to prayer. But Ayu tells her that she shouldn't be afraid of Allah. She is Lillah. She is with them. Don't be afraid of call to prayer. And she will help her. And she will have to save Adi. Now he sends Ayu to save Adi and goes to Ningshe's house. Here, Ningshe shows her in her true form, and she haunts him in the form of Vati. She starts scaring him with her words. That is, the evil jinn did what he did 30 years ago, and this was the evil she was talking about. And one more reason is why Ningshe came at night, because she was actually a jinn. Let's see the last flashback of Karta, where she was found that day. This jinn had killed Rajat, and by possessing Vati, he fed her on her body. Then he killed her too, and he took this form of Vati. Now Karta runs away from there and starts burning the jinn's lair, that is, where she used to stay. And Ayu finds Adi, whom the jinn was going to take with her. But it's almost morning. And Karta, who was afraid of the call of prayer, starts calling the call of prayer. And now the jinn is weak and goes away from there. And Adi is saved. Now in the ending scene of the movie, we see another child from another village, whom the jinn starts possessing. That is, she was not killed. She just went away. And boom. With this, the movie ends here. So friends, this was another Indonesian movie. I hope you liked the story of Waktu Magrib. If you liked it, like the video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. So I'll see you all in the next video.